Good evening. We have got a crackerjack program for you, and you are watching Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. And I'd like to introduce the co-host with you, Mr. Mike Hamnett. Mike, nice to have you on the program with us again.
Good to be with you, David.
And for those of you who don't know, Mike is the Executive Director of the Research Corporation of the University of Hawaii. And also joining us here in the studio is Mr. Darren Pye. And Darren, nice to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
And Darren is his face is very well known on Hawaii television, but for those of you who haven't seen him, I'll let you know that he is the spokesperson, corporate communications for Hawaiian Electric.
That's right, thank you.
And great to have you here. And joining us later in the program, we'll have from San Francisco, Mark Jewell, who is the founder of Efficiency. Ladies and gentlemen, where we want to start today is on the whole concept of the introduction of the smart grid by Hawaiian Electric. And Darren, let's start off this program with real easy for our audience to kind of bring them along with us. Just a short description for those of us who don't know, what is a smart grid? It's a fancy term we've heard a lot about, but tell our audience, what is a smart grid?
Well, that's an excellent question to begin with. Essentially, a smart grid just means that we're modernizing the electric system that serves our customers here on Oahu, and eventually we plan to roll it out to our customers in other service territories. Essentially what it means is you integrate modern communications technology into the existing electric grid. So we are going to be building a wireless communication system that will help us better manage the system and help improve service for our customers.
Okay, and so give me a specific example. I'm a homeowner. You get this smart grid hooked up, and what's the benefit to me?
Well, really what you get is a much more robust electric system that has modern communications capabilities that's going to help improve service for you. It's going to make your electric service more reliable. It's going to help us troubleshoot outages, detect problems on the system much more quickly, and restore power much more quickly if you have a problem. It's also going to provide you with more information to help you make better choices to help manage your electric bill. Now, one of the benefits that customers are going to receive in our program is that they'll have access to an online web portal that will display their energy use in 15-minute increments. Instead of waiting until the end of the month when you get your electric bill and you see how much power you used, under our program, at any time you can go online and see that, look, my cousin came over and stayed with us for a few days last week, and we were using a lot more power. And you can see that very clearly in this online portal. So you can decide, well, we've used a lot more power this month so far, so we can make some choices, adjust our behavior and adjust our patterns for the rest of the month to help us save energy.
Okay, now is that smart grid technology, is that being implemented today?
That's what we're going to be rolling out. We're starting in mid-April. In several communities on Oahu. We're reaching out to about 5,200 customers in Moanalua Valley, some sections of Pearl City, Kaimuki, Kahala, Waikiki, and Diamond Head. And what we really wanted to do was start with a smaller group of communities that was representative of the larger general mix of different types of customers we have on Oahu and throughout our service territories. Also the different types of geography that we see. We've got some valley terrain like we have in Moanalua, some open spaces, different types of buildings, different types of structures. We wanted to see that evaluate the performance of this technology and also work with different types of customers, get their feedback so we can really bring that into the program so we can try and improve it and refine it as it goes forward.
So Darren, so what you're talking about is a test program.
Well,
basically.
We're calling it an initial phase of this program, and further development beyond this phase will require approval from our regulating agency, the Hawaii Public Utilities Commission. So what we're going to do is do this initial development and work with the PUC, and if we get approval for further deployment, that's when we can expand to the rest of our customers.
Okay, so I got two questions, and then I know Mark is going to, Mike is going to jump in here for a second. But what's the cost of implementing a smart grid system here on the island of Oahu? Do you have a rough number for that?
Well, we're going through that analysis right now, but what we're finding in our preliminary analysis is that when you look at the long-term costs, versus the long-term benefits, the benefits clearly outweigh the costs. The advantages in improved efficiency, in helping customers more effectively manage their energy use and improve service over the long term outweigh the costs of developing the system. But some of those specific numbers are still in development, but that will be part of what we go to the Public Utilities Commission with.
So let me ask you, take an educated guess. I mean, what order of magnitude? 100 million? A couple billion?
Yeah, well, it's not going to be on that range, but I can't give you a specific guess at this time. We're still developing that analysis at this point, but we'll have something that, our analysis that we have to provide to the PUC, we'll have to look at those numbers, and we believe that if you look at the long term, the benefits clearly outweigh the cost of development.
Okay, so related to the same question here. So this initial phase or test program, what is this thing going to cost?
This initial phase of the project, the budget is about $10.4 million.
Okay, and that covers how many households?
That's about 5,200.
5,200 households, 10 million. Okay, and so the last question before Mike jumps in here is, who's going to pay for that?
Well,
that comes out of the HECO budget, regular?
That's accounted for in our existing budgets, so we don't anticipate there's going to be any type of significant bill impact to our customers for this initial phase. And we really believe that it's an investment in modernizing our system, in trying to bring better service to our customers, to help them more effectively manage their bills, and really lay the foundation for the type of modern grid that we need as we go forward and we look at the challenges of integrating more renewable energy onto the system, providing better service for our customers. Really what this is a foundational step towards reaching all of those goals that we're all working
so Darren,
towards.
how many homes do we have here on Oahu? Just to roughly.
We have about 300,000 customers.
300,000?
That's including commercial and residential customers.
Okay, would it be fair for me to take 5,200 divided into
10 million?
But here's the point that I'm getting at. The 10 million preliminary phase is a number that Hawaiian Electric is prepared to absorb in their existing budget. That's what you've said, yes?
That's correct.
Okay.
But,
and so I guess where I'm really going is, when you jump to an island-wide smart grid system, the number gets up there quite a bit, and I'm assuming that Hawaiian Electric is not prepared to absorb that cost in its annual budget.
Well, when we develop a program like this, any type of program, we have to develop a complete analysis of the costs and the benefits and present that to the Public Utilities Commission. And the PUC looks at that and it conducts a very thorough review to make sure that the analysis is correct, and they make a judgment and determination of whether that assessment is correct and whether the costs are appropriate.
Yeah.
And then decisions are made and approval is from the PUC allows us to go forward with further deployment.
Okay.
So that's generally the process. We understand that it's the regulatory process is very important to make sure that everything is looked at very carefully, and the PUC makes a determination whether a project's in the best interest of the public.
Absolutely. Now, Mike?
Greg, is this, the development of the smart grid, is it going to make it possible to put more intermittent power, more photovoltaic electricity on the grid?
This is an important step in that direction. It really lays the foundation for a lot more integration of all types of renewables, but particularly wind and solar power. We're looking at basically laying a technological foundation. If you think of a smartphone, what makes it smart? It's a platform for future applications, and that's what a smart grid is. The smart grid becomes a platform for other applications and other technologies, such as energy storage and other technologies that it can help us integrate more renewable energy. So we really see this as a foundational piece as we go forward to that very diverse mix of renewable energy sources that we all have been talking about.
And is the information that you glean from this initial phase, that's going to allow you to do more sophisticated analysis about what you can possibly put on the system? Is that part of what this is all about?
Well, one of the things that the engineers are looking at as they look at a smart grid is that all of this technology will allow them to very specifically understand what's happening on the system. Right now, currently our system has instrumentation, but a smart grid will take it up to another level. So you'll have a lot more information as we study the impact of all these different energy sources on the system. We'll be able to very specifically understand what's happening on the system, and that will help us make very informed choices about what we need to do to expand the use of renewable energy in Hawaii.
And for the individual households, are you going to provide them with tools, with understanding of how this whole thing works and what they can do so that they can make better use of the smart meters in terms of managing their electricity?
Yes, they all will have access to an online web portal. They'll be able to view it on their desktop computers or on their mobile devices, and it will display their energy use in 15-minute increments. So they'll be able to very specifically see how much power they're using and when. And that can really help customers, and it really has a nice synergy with the programs that are being developed by other organizations in our community, organizations like Hawaii Energy and the Blue Planet Foundation, which really are out there trying to help customers understand how can I use energy much more efficiently and conserve power and make intelligent choices.
So, and people are going to be able to see be able to actually calculate the benefits of some of the efficiency stuff that they do.
They'll be able to see exactly how much power they're using, and and they'll be able to understand. You won't have to wait until the end of the month and see, well, this is how much we used. You'll be able to see as you go, this is how much electricity we're using this month, and it can really help you make some informed choices. Not just reactively, but you can really look at the data and have a better understanding of how you're using power throughout a 24-hour day. You'll be able to see very exactly what is the minimum amount of power that I'm using when I'm not home or when I'm asleep at night and all the lights are turned off. This is how much power that's still being used by my refrigerator, by my DVR that's still on, by my home networking system that I leave on 24 hours a day, by the video game that my son has left on, he didn't turn off when I told him to. And you'll be able to really see, get that type of information and really begin to really better understand how much power you're actually using.
Now, when the Kauai Island Cooperative put smart meters out there, they had about 10% of the people pushed back on it and didn't want to play with the program?
They had a number of customers that chose not to participate. They had what they called an opt-out program. And in our program, we're not going to require customers to participate. If they choose to, they can let us know that they don't want to have a smart meter in this initial phase. And, we're going to honor those requests at no charge to them.
Okay. And why were people reluctant on Kauai, do you know?
I don't want to really speak for anybody, but there were, if you look at the development of smart grid technology across the country, there are a number of themes which sort of present themselves over and over again. Customers are concerned about issues about radio frequencies. And what studies and experience have shown is that this technology is safe, that it falls under the safety guidelines that are established by the FCC. So, we have confidence in this technology. It's really matured in the last 5 years or so, and it's at a place now where we really believe that this is an important step to take, not just for the development of an energy future in Hawaii, but really to benefit our customers.
Right.
Darren, we just have probably time for one more question before we go to a break here. And the question I want to put to you is this. You said that this smart grid is kind of part and parcel of Hawaii being able to maximize these various forms of renewable energy. Do you recall saying something like that?
Yes, yeah.
And so, for our audience here, how does that help? What's the connection between having a smart grid and you could do more with renewable energy? How do those two fit together?
That's an excellent question, and it's unfortunately got a complicated answer, but basically it boils down to this. As I said, a smart grid really lays a technological foundation for modernizing the electric system so it can incorporate a lot of sources of power. The electric system as it exists now is pretty much the way electric systems have been designed for 100 years. The power flow is one way from the main generating stations down to the customers. But what we're seeing now, what's being developed, is a very dynamic electric system where you have customers with their own generating systems, PV systems on their rooftops, and you have a lot more sources of power on the system. And so what you really need to do is to upgrade the technology to accommodate all of that.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll stay with us. And Darren, thank you so much for joining us from Hawaiian Electric. After the break, ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back with Mr. Mark Jewell from San Francisco talking about energy efficiency, which ties in with what you've been talking about, Darren, and thank you so much. And you are watching, ladies and gentlemen, Hawaii, the state of clean energy, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget to unplug yourself.
Very good. Providing for the needs of our state. Collateral analytics, empowering the real estate industry to make better informed.
Well, this experience before too.
Thanks, Darren.
There you go, Darren. Thank you. Good job. Appreciate it.
Thanks
Kevin
again.
Ho, a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company. Hawaiian Electric Company. And its affiliates.
Mark, you're there? You're live?
Absolutely. I'm enjoying the conversation. I know in California you have the same sort of thing, people opting out of smart grid because they think it's going to, I don't know, cause their dogs, birth defects and things like that, which is absolute silliness, but fortunately it's a minority.
Yeah, there were privacy concerns apparently also in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, we're just about ready to go here, so.
Helping Hawaii achieve its transition
tight.
to clean energy
Okay.
and a better energy future.
And
Hawaii Pacific
we'll have
Health,
2 commercial breaks,
bringing
Mark.
technology
Okay.
and teamwork together to transform healthcare
And during the
Hawaii.
commercial breaks, we can
High-Tech
talk.
Development Corporation.
Great.
Attached to DBAN is the state's leading technology agency. The Scheidler Family Foundation, supporting educational, cultural, and charitable organizations, including ThinkTech.
We're back, and you are watching Hawaii, the state of clean energy. I'm David Day, and my co-host here is the energy guru, Mr. Mike
I'm not
Hamnett.
sure of that.
I like the term guru. Mike is the executive director of the Research Corporation of the University of Hawaii. And we also have with us all the way from downtown San Francisco, Mr. Mark Jewell, the founder of Efficiency Sales Professional Institute.
The show.
It's great to have you here, Mark, and I appreciate you taking the time. And as I understand, you're going to be coming over here to Hawaii soon?
Yes, we're looking forward to it. It'll be the 5th time we're coming over to present courses on.
No, but Mark is really a nationally recognized subject matter expert and a speaker. He's also a guru on applying energy efficiency to help create value, and supports a lot of other professionals and organizations. And so, Mark, I need you to help me supplement this background in the sense is, what is it that you really focus on? What is it that you do?
In fact, Canada as well, giving speeches, keynotes, and training sessions anywhere from 45 minutes up to a full week.
the the target market for your teaching and trainings? Are they businesses or homeowners or what?
You know, it's interesting you should say that. A lot of people see the term
The term guru in energy efficiency fits really well, don't you,
It
Mark?
does.
Don't
It
you
does.
think so?
you know, it's funny. We talked about guru and yeah, we joke. In any case, it's special skills are necessary to actually get.
We've been working with Hawaii Energy for quite some time now, and what are you going to be doing for them?
Okay, thanks for asking. We're coming in for 2 weeks. One is starting March 31st, and we're going to.
take a commercial break.
Okay.
And we'll see you on the other side of the break. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. I'm David Day. I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Great.
Mark, have you offered these
Yes.
courses before out here?
His sound on the main board.
Yes, we've had about 800 people go through in these courses in Honolulu, and I should say 800 seats because a lot of people have taken multiple courses. I think there are probably 400 or 500 individuals, unique individuals.
That the FAA has made Hawaii a test site
Uh-oh.
for development of drone technology.
Okay.
Pretty terrific, eh? Our drone lovers in Wisconsin suffered a big setback last week when a beer delivering drone was grounded by the FAA after delivering beer to ice fishermen by drone,
Energy
a method
industries come
that's
in
still
and
not
do
legal.
an audit
First,
in our,
Wisconsin-based Lake
Lily
Made
Pond
Beer
Bar
posted a YouTube
town,
promotional video
condo.
of a drone ferrying
And
a
they
case of
changed out
beer
the
to
chillers
far-flung winter
and the
fishermen on a
lights,
frozen lake.
saving us $15,000 a month.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Jay, I understand we had an audio problem. Every time you showed my image, the audio cut out. That's what one of my listeners tells me.
Yeah, that's what I just found.
Uh-oh.
You throw another load of commercials in there, Jay, so we got plenty of time.
Well, maybe it's a shame the mic is in front of my mouth. Maybe somebody could have lip read me.
We'll have to do you again. But
Yeah.
I'm not getting your sound. I don't know why.
But you're getting it now when I talk to you. Just don't go when you go to my image.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
getting on the
Okay.
Let's
We
do,
can always subtitle it.
let's do this, Jay. Can we just go with the audio and put a picture up?
Pretty slick, eh? But the FAA wasn't caught napping on this one. They must watch YouTube. Many of
You
them
have my Skype headshot.
force
Maybe that'll help.
And keep drones under close control over
The audio
cities
is
and
really
frozen
clear.
lakes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, the FAA called Lake Made president.
We're using a
Jack
Rode
Pebble direct
podcast or
and told
microphone
him to
here, so I
stop
would
that
imagine
right
the sound
away.
will be great.
Although the FAA is currently reviewing the drone rules,
I'm
and
seeing a
approved
text
drone
here,
delivery in the next year,
When they
for
cut to
now,
the video,
Lake
can't hear you, no
Made
sound. Now there's sound.
They thought they could get away with
Let's
it
see.
because the delivery
So when there
was made
should
on
be
frozen
sound, there
lakes
isn't.
and
When there shouldn't be, there is.
Except
So when we cut the
ice
commercials, you can hear me.
And because he didn't actually charge for the
But not
beer.
during the real show.
It would be nice to see some of the little guys compete with the big drones from Amazon. We'd be happy to share our research with Amazon, the company said on its Facebook page. Who knows, maybe Lake Made is actually ahead of Amazon. The trick on the lake was pretty impressive,
Let's
wasn't
try
it?
it again. You there?
Maria Kashem,
Yes.
ThinkTech News.
Let's try it again. We're just coming down now. It's 20 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay. Hello again.
We are back. You're watching, in case you just joined us, Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. I'm David Day with my co-host. Here is Mr. Mike Hamnett. Mike, it's a terrific show, and with us from San Francisco is Mr. Mark Jewell, who is the founder of the Efficiency Sales Professional Institute, a energy efficiency guru, and coming to Hawaii. And Mark, nice to have you on the program, and I'm sorry that we've had some technical difficulties, and I think we've got you now. Let's see.
Oh, terrific. Well, thank you.
At the break, you were describing the series of courses and programs coming up here in Honolulu the end of March, as I recall.
Yes, yeah, we have two series, one coming in March 31st for a full week of half and full day sessions, and the other one coming in May 5th, which is the week-long Efficiency Sales Professional Boot Camp.
And
Just Mark, you've done programs out here before, and how have people pretty enthusiastic about the stuff that you've been talking about?
I'm thrilled to say that we've been invited back several times. I mean, this is Hawaii Energy Series 5, so we've been there 4 previous times, and we've graduated about 800 seats. I say seats because we've had several people take multiple courses. Probably 400 or 500 unique individuals have taken our courses over the last 3 years in Honolulu, and also we did a couple of trainings in Kona, on Maui, and that sort of thing, in Hilo. But most of the stuff we've done is in Honolulu. The nice thing about what we do is one of the nice things about what we do is we always do pre and post course evaluations. And just the other day, I was looking at the statistics of the stuff that we had done in prior years, and it turns out that we always scale people's knowledge levels from a scale 1 to 5 before they do the course and after they do the course. And I was interested to see that it was on a scale of 1 to 5. It was an average of about 1.4 points in advance of energy knowledge after having attended the course. And of course, the testimonials are off the charts. We have a lot of referrals. People have taken the course and say, wow, when are you coming back? So I'm happy to know and to share with you that I think it's going to be a really great series once again.
Is that something unusual for a state to have so much in the way of energy efficiency training? Interest?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the reason for that, Mark? Is it just the cost of energy, or is it results? Well, why is that?
It's interesting. We're officed here in San Francisco. That's our headquarters downtown, and we do a lot of work for Pacific Gas and Electric, which is the second largest utility in the country. And they have a bricks and mortar education center called the Pacific Energy Center. I'm a frequent lecturer there. There are a bunch of other similar bricks and mortar education centers for energy education up and down the state of California, run by the investor-owned utilities. Mm-hmm. So you see a lot of education happening here on our own stomping grounds in California. But across the country, you don't really see that much.
You don't see that much in terms of bricks and mortar?
In terms of utility-funded bricks and mortar energy education centers. Now, people like Iowa Energy Center, people like American Electric Power, people like Duke Energy, those sorts of things, they do have programs that educate their customers, but they don't maintain a 25,000 square foot bricks and mortar institution specifically for the purpose of educating people.
Okay,
now,
why is
that,
Mark, why is that? Is it because of the high cost of power in California generates interest, or?
I think California has been a leader for the last 30 years. They've been a leader in more aggressive building codes, more aggressive rebates. I mean, most recently in like 2 program cycles ago, 2010, 2012, the investor-owned utilities alone gave away $3.8 billion with a B, to ratepayers. Basically, money that had gone through public benefits funding was given back to ratepayers to support efficiency. So it's a very serious thing here. And of course, as well funded as those energy centers are, it is a rounding error compared to the hundreds of millions of dollars in rebates and incentives that California investor-owned utilities collect from their ratepayers and give back to the ratepayers in terms of rebates and incentives. So it's a big thing here. The good thing, I think the reason that our courses are so successful in Hawaii is A, your electricity prices are off the map. B, off the charts, I should say. B, we bring a unique level of energy education. I mean, it's founded on 20 years worth of experience, seeing what does work and what doesn't work. And our approach to selling efficiency is very different. In many utility territories around the country, you'll see people promoting energy efficiency because it's the right thing to do. We don't think about promoting energy efficiency. We think about selling energy efficiency, and selling implies that you're going to actually understand segment-specific, role-specific, goal-specific values that the prospect standing in front of you has, and you're going to customize the pitch to appeal to that. And I can give you a number of studies and samples and stories before we end this broadcast, but we don't talk about kilowatt hours and therms. We don't talk about rebates, honestly. We don't talk about we don't talk about greenhouse gas mitigation. We talk about, if we're talking about an office building, we talk about concomitant productivity increases in the wake of improving thermal comfort. The fact that your utility bill is $2 to $4 a square foot, your payroll is $200 a square foot. So if you improve the productivity of the workers by 2% in Hawaii, you're going to eliminate the utility bill. And that's the kind of mathematics that's not usually talked about if you're an engineer with your eye shades and sleeve garters on, talking about kilowatts and therms. People don't get into the business operations of their customers, and I think that's a real failing, and that's why our stuff is really very, very admired.
Mark, just so that our audience can really appreciate what you're saying, Give us the price of electric power to the extent that you know it that we are paying here in Hawaii. Tell the audience what we're paying here in Hawaii.
Well, it varies based on island and utility servicing those islands. But from my understanding, you're talking about somewhere between 32 and 50 cents a kilowatt hour. Now, the comparison.
Hold on. So Mike, you confirm that.
that'd be right.
All right. So now let's jump to California, Mark. What's the price that you pay for power there?
The average
PG&E.
commercial rate here in California would probably be about 18 cents a kilowatt hour, I'd guess.
Okay, so we just went from 50 cents a kilowatt hour to 18.
Right.
Now pick someplace in the heartland of America, like Iowa, Texas. What are they paying for power?
In some cases, I mean, to take Pacific Northwest, where they have a lot of abundant hydroelectric, those guys are paying about 8 3/4 cents. In Santa Fe, New Mexico, a municipality might be paying 4 cents a kilowatt hour.
Okay, so with the audience,
It's like an order of magnitude difference.
yeah, but with the audience now having appreciating the substantial difference from 50 cents to 4 cents.
Yeah.
That is a barometer, is it not, of where kind of the national focus is nationwide on energy efficiency. It's in California and Hawaii, yes?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I mean, there are a lot of states. It's funny. We used to run. I was a founder of a venture capital-backed business and ran it for 8 or 9 years called Real Win-Win, and our job was to file rebate applications, incentive applications for approximately 1 billion square feet of household name companies: Neiman Marcus, Taco Bell, Starbucks,
Okay.
you name it, Macy's. We evaluate 10 or 15,000 rebate applications per year, but they were all over the country. So a Walgreens, who was a client of ours, they'd be filing rebates and incentives in all the states, regardless almost of what the utility prices were, because there were rebates. I mean, basically $9 billion worth of rebates annually were available in U.S. and Canada. So I would not say that the energy efficiency consciousness is limited to California or Hawaii. I wouldn't even say that in a low utility rate jurisdiction like Texas, energy efficiency is dismissed, because it isn't. I mean, you can make a lot of improvements to a building's efficiency, its competitiveness, its profitability and value, even if you're in a jurisdiction where you're only paying 6 or 7 or 8 cents a kilowatt hour.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mark, a few years ago, I co-chaired a thing called the Energy Policy Forum, and 49 stakeholder organizations, the regulated utilities, the renewable energy associations, the counties, the state, federal government. And we sponsored an executive seminar about 7 years ago, I guess, and we invited the chief executive officers from the top 50 companies in Hawaii, and talking to them about what could be achieved with energy efficiency, and also the financing of energy efficiency projects. And we were oversubscribed. We had to turn people away. We had 70 people there.
Wow.
And there's just an awful lot of interest, and it was much on much of the focus was on, the business sense of energy efficiency for a company.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's funny. Many years ago, there was a survey done for CFOs, and 45% of the CFOs responding to the survey said that they thought that energy was a fixed cost. And you wonder, how in the world, what world is this person living in that they think that energy is a fixed cost? And in fact, the EPA battled with the AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, because the way they were putting out template financial statements would tend to indicate or suggest that energy was fixed cost. But they didn't win that battle. Bottom line is, we find that when we have an elevator pitch, a one-page proposal, and a one-page financial analysis that includes the stuff that really matters to businesses, they snap to attention pretty quickly. If, on the other hand, you go in with a 50-page proposal and an Excel spreadsheet that goes out to column CA on, the number of measures you're going to do for retrofitting 140 different kinds of lighting and all the catalog stock numbers and stuff, decision makers are not going to pay attention. If they even pay attention, they're going to quickly lose attention, and you're not going to get the efficiency projects done. And so that's what we do. We tell people, we protect people from their own devices. We say, look, don't do it the conventional way. Let's talk like business people with real business acumen. Let's talk about what really matters in energy efficiency in the context of these industries, and let's get the job done. And fortunately, with hundreds of graduates, we have literally hundreds of testimonials of our approach working.
Right. Just in terms of your observations of what we've got going here in energy, where do you think the biggest efficiency gains would be for Hawaii?
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm not going to tell you where I had this experience. but it's actually a very funny story, but it'll take, 2 minutes or so. Is that okay? Do I
No,
tell you?
go ahead.
Okay. We were asked to come and make a presentation. This was a couple of series ago, and we were taken to a conference room that was volunteered for our presentation. It was going to be an all-day actually a 2-day presentation on energy efficiency on a particular island, which shall remain unnamed. We are taken to the facility by a young lady who, this is in May, it's about 75 or 80 degrees out, the guys are out there with board shorts, it's balmy, it's beautiful. This woman introduces us to the room where we're going to be presenting, and the air conditioning is set to 62 degrees. We walk, she's wearing a fleece. And I'm thinking, this is not right. Something's wrong with this picture. I mean, I'm from San Francisco. We wear fleece in the evening because when the Bay Breeze comes in the summer, I mean, whoever was, W.C. Fields said the coldest summer I've ever spent.
Right.
What I've ever spent is the summer in San Francisco. In any case, this girl's in fleece in 75-degree May weather. I get in there, and my colleague and I instantly realize something's wrong with this air conditioning. So he said, I call her back, and I said, listen, there's a problem with this room. She says, oh, you're in the cold room. I said, cold room? She said, yes. We know that room 301 is a cold room. I said, well, can you turn the air conditioning down? It's a little cold in here. She said, no, the thermostat, they're broken. The air conditioning system's broken. I said, well, listen, I'm going to be here. He said, how long are you going to be in there today? I said, it's all day. She says, oh, that's too bad. I said, what do you mean it's too bad? She says, well, the air conditioning system is broken. It's going to stay cold in there. She said, well, we do have a plan. She said, are you in the room now? I said, yeah, I'm calling you from the house phone on the wall. She said, well, if you look up, the place used to be an art gallery. There are lots of lights in the ceiling. And we found that if you turn all the lights on, the room will warm up eventually. I said, you're telling me to turn all the lights on at 35 cents a kilowatt hour to warm up the room? And besides, I've done a few million square feet of lighting design. These are compact fluorescent lamps that are hardwired. The ballast is above the ceiling. I mean, the only thing that's going to get warm in this building is the mongoose in the attic. She said, well, yeah, I guess so. I said, well, what's plan B? She said, well, are you in the room? I said, yes, I'm in the room. I just told you I was in the room. I'm freezing. What's plan B? She said, well, you'll notice on the right and left of you, there are 2 wonderful double doors that lead out to the lanai. I said, I see that. It's beautiful out there. She said, well, we found that if you open the doors, the trade winds will blow out the excess air conditioning.
There you go.
I said, you got to be kidding me. She said, well, how long are you in there today? I said, I just told you, all day. She says, oh, that's too bad. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, that plan only works for about 90 minutes. I said, what do you mean? What happens after 90 minutes? She said, after that point, the air conditioning knows what you've done and kicks up to full speed to overcome the effect of the trade winds. I said, you got to be kidding me, at 35 cents a kilowatt. I said, wait, what's plan C? She said, there is no plan C. I said, well, how about plan D? She said, well, if there's no plan C, there's no plan D. I said, no, I'm talking director of facilities. She said, oh, that plan D. Yeah, let me get him on the phone. Unbelievably enough, 5 minutes later, I was on the phone with the director of facilities, whose first question was, how long are you in there today? And I said, no, all day. He says, that's too bad. This is a true story, verbatim. It's like,
You know what? Let's do this, Bark. Is there more to this story?
That's all. No, that was it. I mean,
Okay.
well, the bottom line is that.
Oh my God, we need to go to a commercial break
Okay.
so that we can recover here in the studio
Yes.
from that story.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy. I'm David Day with my co-host Mike Hamnett, and giggling on the line from San Francisco is Mr. Mark Jewell, an energy efficiency guru. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening again. I'm David Day, and my co-host is Mr. Mike Hamnett. You are watching Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, and we are talking about energy efficiency. Coming over the hill on a white horse to the rescue, kind of like a John Wayne movie. And our special guest here all the way from downtown San Francisco is Mr. Mike Jewell, a energy efficiency guru, the founder of Efficiency Sales Professional Institute, Mark, help me with this. Give me the name.
Yes, it's the Efficiency Sales Professional Institute, and this is Mark Jewell.
Yeah, why
by
don't
the
you
way,
have
the horse
energy in
can
the name
spin.
of that institute, you know?
Yeah. No, it's interesting. But the Efficiency Sales Professional Institute is actually a division of EEFG, which stood for Energy Efficiency Funding Group, which I've had for 20 years. So we have a lot of lineage in energy efficiency. I thought, if I may be so bold, since we had technical problems in audio earlier in the show, I wonder if we should go over the trainings that were actually coming to Hawaii in
Well,
March.
okay, but we'll have to do this very quick because we got a whole packload of questions to hit
sure.
you with. But let's do that, ladies and gentlemen, because coming up here in Honolulu, Mark is coming over the end of March. So real fast, Mark.
Well, I think the best thing I could do is recommend you folks go to a web page that we've set up specifically for the courses that we're going to be teaching for Hawaii Energy. And the web page address is www.eefg.com/Hawaii Energy. eefg.com/Hawaii Energy. And on that webpage, you'll find all the courses we're offering. And one of the things I forgot to mention while we were having technical difficulties is that Hawaii Energy is reducing the cost of these courses by 90%.
Jeez.
Which means you're going to walk away with a course that usually costs $150 or $200 for $15. You're going to get lunch, and some of the courses come with a full year of coaching support from us here in San Francisco, bi-monthly or monthly 2-hour coaching calls on financial analysis and how to sell efficiency. So the deals are unbelievable. I'm not here to hawk courses over the phone, but bottom line is, if you're interested in advancing efficiency in your organizations, these courses are a must attend. We even have online versions because I know that people are very busy in the efficiency industry, and it's nice you can get online on-demand versions.
And who should be coming to these courses, Mark?
Well, they actually, not only building owners and managers, but also anybody whose job it is to advance energy efficiency in Hawaii. So obviously vendors, manufacturers, contractors, lighting technologists, utility salespeople, government people responsible for shepherding efficiency within the state.
Okay, and that's
it's a wide audience.
EEFG.com/Hawaii Energy.
/Hawaii Energy.
Let's make it.
Yes.
Let's get /. Looking forward
Hawaii
at all
Energy.
times.
Yep.
And Mark, people could sign up for the courses on the Hawaii Energy website, I assume?
It's actually the EEFG.com. We're handling all the registration and
Okay.
payment processing. EEFG.com/Hawaii Energy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, Mark, you were at one of the breaks. You were telling me about a incredible savings in your building, which I'd just like you to communicate Mike. Communicate it to Mark.
Yeah, we had a commercial. We had Hawaii Energy, or not Hawaii Energy, Energy Industries come and do audits of our 300 unit condominium down at Waikiki, and they came and we eventually we changed out the chiller and went to LED lights. We're saving $15,000 a month
Wow.
on electricity.
$15,000 a month. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this show and you're on the board of directors of a condominium association, this program that Mark is going to be directing here in Hawaii or participating in coming up the end of March is something that you might want to check out. $15,000 a month. That changes your monthly maintenance fees big time, doesn't it?
It really does. No,
It's funny. I used to be the president of a condo association in Philadelphia where I still own a unit, 225 unit building. And it's amazing, most condo associations do not have anybody on the board that really has energy efficiency expertise. But when you look at what is making up those homeowner association dues, energy is a big piece of a big line item.
Oh, it is.
And so, I would absolutely second, if you're in an AOAO and you need to, get a handle on your operating expenses, these courses are where you need to be. If nothing else, even if you can't break away from the office, just at least log online and get what you need.
Yeah, well, we should encourage associations and management companies to sign up for your courses.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just, on behalf of the show here, Mark, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to spend with us here all the way from San Francisco. And Mike,
you're very welcome.
Mike, it's been nice to have you on the program here. And ladies and gentlemen, we have been broadcasting here at from Pioneer Plaza, right here in the belly of the beast on Bishop Street. You've been watching Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, and I'm your host, David Day, and we will be back here next Wednesday, same time, same place. Good night.
Good, thank you, David.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Great job,
My
Mark.
pleasure.